Hey everybody, and welcome back to Make It with Mod Podge. I'm Steve Piacenza.
And I'm Cathie Filian, and today we have a special Harry Potter treat for you. I'm so excited about these projects because one, they're our favorite dollar store projects, and two, we're working with Harry Potter inspired fabrics.
It's Harry Potter Mod Podge Day today.
I love it. These are so easy to do, and we were just talking about them. They're so great for gifts and decorations and parties. Even adults, so many people have Harry Potter parties. So I just think this is such cute decor or gifts for any of your Harry Potter fans.
Yeah, Harry Potter, and also inspiration for just fabric on top of dollar store candles.
So true.
There's so much cool fabric out there. So we're doing Harry Potter today because we love Harry Potter. But again, those fabric stores have so much cool fabric that you can do this project with any kind of fabric that you want.
Well, I'm even thinking, so if you're doing a wedding or you're having a shower or something like that, you could do beautiful florals and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you could also, if you're thinking about licensed fabrics, there's everything from all of your superheroes. I even saw all of the Disney characters.
Oh yes.
And they even have
the Universal Monsters.
Oh yeah.
My personal favorite.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, seasonal too, Halloween, Christmas. So it's endless.
It's endless.
But today we've got these gorgeous fabrics that we're working with. These are all 100% cotton. And we've got a variety of prints, which is kind of fun to do. You can see over here how our variety of prints looks together. So if you want to do a display, you can mix all your prints up like that. We've got lots of different trims on them.
Show these in the back here. Look at how cool these are. All Harry Potter inspired.
And we're going to be using Fabric Mod Podge to attach our fabric, and we're using the gold mega glitter just to add a little bit of sparkle to our design.
See what I noticed on the back of the paintbrush there?
Lots of gold glitter.
It's my wand, my Harry Potter wand. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna do is, like we said, we're using dollar store candles. They have lots of different size candles at the dollar store. These are nice because they're tall and they're flat, but there are shorter ones and wider ones that can be applied to this project also. But we liked this size here. So the first thing we did is we just cleaned it off, just make sure that there's no dirt or oils on it, and that's easy with alcohol and a paper towel.
And the label, we did soak the label off.
We did soak the label. Yeah. That's very important. Do you want to tell them about that real quick?
So a lot of these candles will come with different labels. This one just had a barcode label, so we soaked it for about an hour and it slid right off. And if you're using really dark fabrics, you wouldn't necessarily, you could go over a label, but I found that in these lighter colored ones, the label still showed through. So just give it a soak if it doesn't peel off easily.
Because you don't want that to show through.
No, that would not be a good look.
Okay, so to create our fabric here, the perfect size fabric, the first thing that we did is we got ourselves a piece of paper, and you're just going to wrap your piece of paper around your candle. Now, as you can see here, I'm kind of going just a little bit below the top, and I'm leaving a little bit down here at the edge, and you're just gonna wrap it around, and you're gonna give it about a 1/2 inch overlap. And the reason why you're doing that is because you want your fabrics to overlap each other so that you get a really nice seam.
And here's an example of what the seam will look like.
So it's seamless is the point.
So you need that little overlap there.
There we go. So here we go. So here's the template. Then you're just gonna cut that. You're going to take it off, and then you're gonna get your piece of fabric. Now, I've already cut this piece of fabric, but let's just pretend it was a little bit wider. And this is the area that I wanted in the center of my candle, the Harry Potter kind of window. I want perfectly in the center, like this one right over here. See how nice that is? It's just right in the center, so both sides are even. And of course the back, you can barely see the seam, but that's where the back is. So this is perfectly centered right on top of my candle. So you're gonna put your piece of paper right on top, but the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna fold your paper in half, and then you're gonna find your center area on your fabric. And I know this is gonna be the center because sometimes the prints help you out. Right there, right in the center. And then I'm just going to fold that over and then cut your fabric to size on each end. It's that simple. Now, as you can see right down here, I left about a 1/2 inch open. And for that, the reason why I did that is because this is gonna wrap around the bottom. So any one of these candles you'll see is a nice finished wrapping. So there's no you know, hard seam there. And on the bottom here, we just put a piece of felt on there to cover that up. But underneath that is that extra fabric just to close that up nicely.
It does finish it off.
It finishes it off beautifully.
Especially if you're giving them as gifts, it really seals just having that extra overlap.
What do we always say, Cathie? You got just that little extra makes it a little bit more
professional.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we take our candle, and I'm using the Fabric Mod Podge, and this is the blue label right here. This is the Fabric Mod Podge, and you're just going to take your Fabric Mod Podge and work it all the way down. Now, a little quick tip, guys, if you can avoid getting any of this on your hands, it's better, because we do not want to get this on our fabric, because unfortunately, if you do get it on the fabric, it's going to kind of show, and it's going to be a different look than the rest of the fabric, and we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, the top of the fabric. I can show you. We've got an example.
Yeah, show while I'm doing this.
Where my finger... So let's see, you can kind of see here, see where the fabric is a little darker? That's where I had it on my fingers. So if that happens to you, the best thing to do is just go ahead and top coat the whole candle, because then it will all be the same color. But we didn't want to top coat these because we didn't need to use our product up top coating them, since we're not going to be laundering them.
These are not going to go in the washing machine.
No, we're not laundering these today.
Okay, so you can see I'm just working all the way around, and I'm also putting it just a little bit on the edge on the top there. Now again, you're gonna put the Mod Podge where the fabric's gonna go. You know, sometimes you can maybe just want half your candle done, so you'd only do half the candle with the Fabric Mod Podge. So it's only where this fabric is going to touch is where you're gonna put the Fabric Mod Podge. This is also just a nice, it's not a thick layer, but it's not a super thin layer. It's kind of right in between there.
And you know, some people, you may be asking questions. If you're asking any questions, please drop questions in the comments, and we will circle back and be able to answer those for you. And during the premieres, we're always answering questions live. So you may be thinking, can I do this project with paper? And yes, you absolutely can. Just find papers that you love, but for that, you would want to use the regular Mod Podge in either gloss, matte, or satin. But there's so many good fabrics out there, so we really wanted to show you a project that you could do with fabrics today.
Okay, so I'm ready to lay down my fabric. And the first thing I want to do is just make sure I didn't get any Mod Podge on them. We're working in kind of
You're being so clean.
I am being clean today. We're working in a very tight space today, so I just want to make sure I don't get any of that Fabric Mod Podge on top of Harry Potter, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to flip it over like that. And then I'm going to carefully take my candle and I'm going to line it up at the top with a little bit of that, pull that down, Cath. Yeah. With a little bit of that fabric you can see overlapping right here on the bottom.
That looks good.
And that's going to, again, that little lip right there is going to fold right on over onto the back side of the bottom of the candle. And I'm gonna slowly bring that up. It's looking good. You can use your fingers to press that down. And take your time with this, guys. You don't have to rush.
And you know, you can really use your fingers to rub out any wrinkles that you might get.
Absolutely.
I find you really don't get that many wrinkles.
No, you don't.
Especially doing this technique that you're showing, where you kind of just place it down.
And then here I'm gonna go up this way. And there we go. Look at that. That looks really good. Okay. And I'm just going to open up this flap here. The little extra flap that I told you about earlier. And I'm just gonna add some of that Mod Podge right on top. And I like to do it on the top of this little flap. You can do it on the bottom, but I'm always a little bit nervous of getting a little bit more onto that fabric. So I like to do it this way, so I definitely know none of that Mod Podge is gonna go on fabric that's not touching. Okay, then I'm just gonna lay that down.
Look how easy that is.
Look at that. Let's flip it over. All right. Look how pretty that is. Looking good.
I love it.
Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this over.
I think Harry Potter would be proud.
Harry Potter would be proud. And I'm gonna add the Fabric Mod Podge right on the bottom here, and I'm going to tuck all that in with my magic paintbrush. just gonna go right on in. You guys take a look at that. And then I'm just gonna drop that right on, let me get a little bit more in there.
And we are gonna be sealing that with the felt circle.
Absolutely.
So you don't really have to worry about it being too neat looking, because once that felt circle's done, all of your handiwork there kind of disappears. You just want that really smooth edge.
You want the smooth edge just to wrap around, just so, there we go. And it's gonna take a little bit of time here, just to press that down and hold it down. There we go. You can see how that looks right there. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right on top of that with a piece of felt towards the end. Now Cathie's gonna show you some detail work now. Cath?
All right, now we are ready to add some of our bling and some of our fun trims to these candles. And I wanna show you some of the different things that we did. So I've got an assortment of trims down here. For the Harry Potter candle, we're gonna use this red trim. Now these are all pretty much from the upholstery section, except for these two here were in the ribbons. And you can get these cut by the yard. What's so cool about these projects is you barely need any, because you're just going around that top edge. So you can pretty much do these with less than a quarter yard. And you can do all sorts of trims. We've got, you know, gold gilded ones. We've got this one I love. It's got a little velvet in it, something with some fringe. You know, it's just endless. So, you know, for these, we tried to find like more regal Harry Potter style trims, but you would just match your trim colors and styles up to whatever fabric you were using. So I want to show you also how you do some glitter. So let's get started with the trims. Here's our bottom section here that we talked about. We cut some black felt circles. We use black just to coordinate. Again, if you're doing Disney princesses, you could do pastel pink or whatever. You know, just match your felt to your things. And we just hot glued that right to the bottom. And then we're going to hot glue our trim. Let me go ahead and move this over so you
Do you want to do this one or no?
That's okay, because this one's all dry.
Okay.
This one's been drying.
Oh, quick note, yeah. With the one that I just finished, guys, it takes about 2 hours to dry. So just a note, about 2 hours and it's good to go.
So now I want to show you how we're going to glue our trim around the top. I'm just going to start at our seamed area. So this is the back area, and we'll start by adding a little bit of hot glue right there. Okay, and then we will start with our trim and put our trim into there, going right up to the top. You don't want to go over, because if someone is going to use this as a actual candle, you want it to be safe. So then we'll just go around and quickly add a bead of our hot glue and wrap our trim just like so. We're using our hot glue gun finger helper from Mod Podge. And go ahead and add a little bit more there. And wrap it just like so.
Finishes it off nicely.
Yeah, it does. And you know what's so fun? I mean, you could do them all matching if you wanted to, but I really love the mismatch look. I love them all being a little bit different. And at the fabric store, there is gazillions.
Yeah.
I took the girls and we just had a blast, like just picking out the different trims to go with them. There was so many different. And you'll just go over that edge a tiny bit. Let's bring that over. And literally each one of these was less than a quarter yard. So, you know, if you've got old scraps, I would look in your scrap bin first because you could definitely, and then go ahead and just cut that on an angle, and that should help with some of that fraying there. There we go, just like so.
Beautiful.
So now it's all finished off at the top, and now I'm going to show you one of our favorite glittery formulas, which is our mega glitter.
Mega.
Let's show some different.
There's some megas.
So you can do a couple different techniques with the mega glitter. Oh yeah, okay, so this is a really good example where we wanted to just kind of add a flat highlight to it. And for this, we're using the Mod Podge detail brushes. Those are great, they come in a pack of 10, so you're gonna get all different types.
Different sizes, those are great sizes.
I'm gonna use the mini flat brush, and we're just gonna dip it into, this is a very thick formula. Look how much glitter's in there, it's just loaded with glitter. And for this, I left a little section here, so you can just go ahead and kind of smear it like a bagel, right?
So this is good for just spotting highlights that you want?
Yeah. And what's cool is you can see where it's dried, you still see some of the pattern under there, but you get that kick of gold. So that's a really fun way just to do like a flat glittery look. We did the same thing on this one here where we just went in and highlighted some of the little newspaper things. And then on our official Harry Potter one, we did some highlighted areas just like so. We did the brooms and our little game there. So let's just go in. I'll show you. You can quickly add it. You can add dots like that if you want to fill in an area. And it doesn't drip. So, you know, you can do this and you can set it up right to dry. You don't need to worry about that. You can just go in and fill in. You can use your detail brush to go in and do fine lines. So you can go in fine areas like that. And again, if you wanted to do more like an all over pattern, you would just take it and swirl it. And the Mega Glitter has several different sizes of glitter in it. And that's why you're able to see some of that ultra fine glitter and some of those thick chunks, and that's what makes it so cool for this spreading around technique.
Yeah, what I like about it is you can still see the pattern underneath.
Exactly.
And then the glitter on top. And this stuff holds. This stuff will not flake off. No. Once it dries, it is on there.
All sealed in. That's the best kind of glitter, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise,
it gets everywhere, yeah.
Well, guys, I think we've done it. Should we review quickly what we made today?
Yeah, so remember, fabrics. We're using Harry Potter today, but you can use any type of fabric that you want. Lots of great fabrics out there. So if you're having a party or a type of bazaar or for school or for gifts, take a look at fabric. Again, it's the Fabric Mod Podge that works with all fabrics here. And here's our candles that we did earlier, all different varieties and different kinds, and you can do different sizes. We got these nice tall ones from the dollar store, but you can use smaller ones or wider ones.
We used lots of different trims, and of course what I just showed you was our Mega Glitter in gold to add that sparkly touch to it.
Yes.
I would say this is one bang for the buck project.
Can I show that fabric real quick?
No. That's a whole nother project.
There's some monster fabric over that I want to show you so bad, but Cathie's not going to let me.
We're already prepping for Halloween.
We're prepping for Halloween. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We can't wait to see you next time on Make It with Mod Podge.
We will see you next Thursday with another video. And just a heads up, we are doing YouTube watch parties. Now, I don't think they're called that. So every Thursday, you can catch us on Facebook. And when the video premieres, we're answering questions live. So if you've got any questions about what we're making, we'll be on the computer and able to answer you live. And then on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, we will be premiering whatever that week's video is over at YouTube and answering questions live there as well.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we hope that these candle projects have inspired you to create some fun gifts or home decor or party decor.
Fabric Mod Podge.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.